Hello and welcome all to episode 3 of book reading The Four Agreements. In last episode, we read about how we are living in a dream and we actually are born in the dream, which is in a way preset by human beings, people who have come before us. We also learned about the concept of attention, which is the ability we have to discriminate and to focus only on that which we want to perceive. And we learned that how adults around us hooked our attention and put information into our minds through repetition. And that is the way we've learned everything what we know till today. And we spoke a little bit about the process which author calls as the domestication of humans. And we ended our last episode saying that children are domesticated the same way that we domesticated dog, a cat, or any other animal. And today we will move ahead from here to understand the concept of punishment and reward and how it affects our day-to-day life. So here it goes. Children are domesticated the same way that we domesticate a dog, a cat, or any other animal. In order to teach a dog, we punish the dog and give it rewards. We train our children, whom we love so much, the same way that we train any domesticated animal, with a system of punishment and reward. We are told, you are a good boy or you are a good girl when we do what mom and dad want us to do. When we don't, we are a bad girl or a bad boy. When we went against the rules, we were punished. When we went along with the rules, we got a reward. We were punished many times a day and we were also rewarded many times a day. Soon we become afraid of being punished and also afraid of not receiving the reward. The reward is the attention that we got from our parents or from other people like siblings, teachers, and friends. We soon develop a need to hook other people's attention in order to get reward. The reward feels good and we keep doing what others want us to do in order to get the reward. With that fear of being punished and that fear of not getting the reward, we start pretending to be what we are not, just to please others, just to be good enough for someone else. We try to please mom and dad. We try to please the teachers at school. We try to please the church. And so we start acting. We pretend to be what we are not because we are afraid of being rejected. The fear of being rejected becomes the fear of not being good enough. Eventually, we become someone that we are not. We become a copy of mama's belief, daddy's beliefs, society's beliefs, and religion's beliefs. All our normal tendencies are lost in the process of domestication. And when we are old enough for our mind to understand, we learn the word no. The adults say, don't do this and don't do that. We rebel and say no. We rebel because we are defending our freedom. We want to be ourselves, but we are very little, and the adults are big and strong. After a certain time, we are afraid because we know that every time we do something wrong, we are going to be punished. That's the process of domestication. The domestication is so strong that at a certain point in our lives, we no longer need anyone to domesticate us. We don't need mom or dad, the school or the church to domesticate us. We are so well trained that we are our own domesticator. We are an auto-domesticated animal. We can now domesticate ourselves according to the same belief system we were given and using the same system of punishment and reward. We punish ourselves when we don't follow the rules according to our belief system and we reward ourselves when we are the good boy or a good girl. The belief system is like a book of law that rules our mind without question. Whatever is in that book is our truth. We base all our judgments according to the book of law, even if these judgments go against our own inner nature. Even moral laws, like the Ten Commandments, are programmed into our mind in the process of domestication. One by one, all these agreements go into the book of law, and these agreements rule our dream. There is something in our minds that judges everybody, everything, including weather, dog, cat, everything. The inner judge uses what is in our book of law to judge everything we do and don't do, everything we think and don't think, and everything we feel and don't feel. Everything lives under the tyranny of this judge. Every time we do something that goes against the book of law, the judge says, we are guilty, we need to be punished, we should be ashamed. This happens many times a day after day, for all the years of our lives. So, till now, author spoke about how domestication happens, how a newborn is born into a world which is sort of predestined, pre dreamed for him by humans who were before him or her. And this becomes our belief, and our belief sort of gives us the book of law which governs our life even without us knowing about it, even without us being aware about it. And this book of law sort of compels us to judge everything and everybody around us, including ourselves. In the next part, he talks about how we receive judgments because of this book of law, which others also have for themselves. So here it goes. There is another part of us that receives the judgments, and this part is called the victim. The victim carries the blame, guilt, and shame. It is the part of us that says, oh, poor me, I'm not good enough. I'm not intelligent enough. I'm not attractive enough, etc. etc. And the big judge, which is the book of law, agrees and says, yes, you're not good enough. And this is all based on a belief system that we never chose to believe. These beliefs are so strong that even years later, when we are exposed to new concepts and try to make our own decisions, we find that these beliefs still control our lives. Whatever goes against the book of law will make you feel a funny sensation in your solar plexus, and it's called fear. Breaking the rule in the book of law opens your emotional wounds, and your reaction is to create emotional poison because everything that is in the book of law has to be true. That's how you were programmed. That's how you were hooked to attention. Anything that challenges what you believe is going to make you feel unsafe. Even if the book of law is wrong, it makes you feel safe. That is why we need a great deal of courage to challenge our own beliefs. Because even if we know we did not choose all these beliefs, it is also true that we agreed to all of them. The agreement is so strong that even if we understand the concept of it not being true, we feel the blame, the guilt, and the shame that occur if we go against these rules. And how many times do we pay for one mistake? The answer is thousands of times. The human is the only animal on earth that pays 1,000 times for the same mistake. The rest of the animals pay once for every mistake they make. But not us. We have a powerful memory. We make mistake, we judge ourselves, we find ourselves guilty, and we punish ourselves over and over and over again. How many times do we make our spouse, our children, our parents pay for the same mistake? Every time we remember the mistake, we blame them again and send them all the emotional poison we feel at injustice. And then we make them pay again for the same mistake. Is that justice? The judge in the mind is wrong because the belief system, the book of law, is wrong. The whole dream is based on a false law. 95% of the beliefs we have stored in our minds are nothing but lies, and we suffer because we believe all these lies. Today, we stop here to meet in the next episode to discuss, to learn more about what author has to say next. Next, he discusses about how the current dream of human society is equivalent to hell. He introduces the concepts of agreement. He talks about how our mind is filled with a fog and what we need to do to move ahead from all of this. Until next time, love and light.